Hello, I'm Wanja Gröger, also known as Nechtan, and in this video I will show you my new bass drum triggers. Enjoy! Most of you probably know that up until now I have always used this thing, the TrigMic Laser Pick, which is, I still think this is a very great trigger because it's not only a trigger but also a drum module in one piece. You can find my video about this trigger here. So the reason why I changed from the TrigMic to something different is this. First of all, I want to try something new because I'm a curious person. And second, I had a problem on one of the Keep of Colorsin shows where we had sunlight on stage during soundcheck, and there the trigger just didn't work well because it works with lasers and the reflections from the lasers, and sunlight seems to be too bright for it to compensate. I have played before during day open air with this trigger and had no problems, but this time sun was kind of shining directly on stage and I think it was just too much for this thing to handle. I still think this is a great trigger and it works super accurate and very well, but yeah, sunlight on stage is not the best friend of this trigger. I have tested the light issue in my rehearsal room with very bright LEDs and also with fog, and it was not a problem. And also I have played many shows with this trigger and it always worked great. But now I just thought it was time for something new. After having played with the TrigMic Laser Pick, it was out of the question to go back to a normal trigger, because the normal bass drum mounted triggers do not work very well when you play very fast on one bass drum. And there are a lot of issues with trigger misfires, etc. And this was the main reason why I was so excited about the Laser Pick, because this worked really great and I had never trigger misfire problems or something like that. So I didn't want to go back to a conventional trigger. But there are actually not that many options. In the end, it came down to two trigger companies that seemed to be promising to me, and that were On Trigger and Foot Blasters. I wanted to have the triggers ready for the next upcoming show, which was like 1 or 2 weeks ahead, so I had to decide quickly, and in the end I decided to go with the On Triggers. And my reasons are this. Number one, the On Triggers are available on Thomann, and I have a partnership with Thomann, and I know they have great customer service, and I knew that when I would have some problems, I could just send them back and get my money back. Or get new ones. Also, they could deliver the triggers very fast, which was also very important for me, because I wanted to have some time to test them before testing them live with Keep of Colorsin. Reason number two, the On Triggers cost less money, and this is actually an issue for me. I didn't want to spend time negotiating any endorsement deal or something, and from the looks of it, Foot Blasters and On Triggers both looked quite solid. So I just decided to go for the On Triggers. By the way, On Trigger does not offer any endorsements. They don't have any drummers endorsing them, and this is just their policy. So I'm not endorsed by On Triggers, I just bought them regularly like everyone else. And finally, reason number three, the On Trigger company has been around longer than the Foot Blaster company, actually since 2014. And the trigger that I bought, this, you can see here, it says Generation 3. This means that this product already went through a lot of optimizations and improvements. This, plus the fact that you can buy it on Thomann, told me that the quality must be at least decent. So that were the reasons why I bought the On Triggers. I have recorded videos with them now, I have tested them in my rehearsal room, also I have played 2 festival shows with them, with Craving and Keep of Colorsin, and so far I have to say they work perfectly. They are as accurate and precise as the TrigMic Laser Pick. The only downside is that I need my old TM2 module, drum module again, so there are a bit more cables to plug together when setting it up live. But On the other hand, it is really cool that these triggers are completely independent from any light, fog, or whatever. Also, they are independent from the bass drum head vibrations, so they do not produce false triggers when you set up the module right. And this is really, really valuable for me. Also, it is very nice to have independent triggers for the right and the left side of the pedal, even when playing on one bass drum, because this way you can choose a slightly different sound for right and left, and this way the bass drum sounds much more natural when it is triggered. So this is the on trigger. It is basically very simple because you just glue it or screw it to the plate of the bass drum pedal. It doesn't matter if you have 2 single pedals or 1 double pedal. And when you set it up in the right way, the pedal, when it comes down and hits the bass drum, also hits the sensor at the same time. And this way the hit is triggered. What is really nice and what makes the setup very easy is that all screws on this thing can be mounted or dismounted with a key I already have for my Demon Drive pedal, so I didn't need any additional tools. Also, you can very easily change the sensor on the trigger in case it does break down one day. You just rip it off and pull out the little plug here, and this is really cool. In the package there was included 1 spare sensor, and you can just glue that on top of this thing and put in the new plug, and you have a new sensor on your trigger. So let me now show you the trigger in action. Enjoy! So that's it for today. From now on I will use the on triggers. I still think the laser pick is awesome, and maybe I will go back one day, I don't know, but for now I will use the on triggers. So for the on triggers and also all my other drumming equipment, you can check out the links down below in the description. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also connect to me on other social media, links are also down below in the description. See you next time.